Have you ever wondered why life seems to test those who want to win the most? Maybe it's not a punishment, maybe it's a calling. The truth that no one tells you is that pain is not the end of the road, it's the gateway to your transformation. While the world runs after shortcuts and comfort, few have the courage to cross the desert of suffering. But it's there, in the silence of the internal struggle, that greatness begins to be born. It's not the body that breaks first, it's the mind that gives up. And if you train yours, nothing can stop you. In this video, you'll discover how pain can become your ally. You'll understand why discomfort, far from being an enemy, is the fuel for those who truly leave a mark on the world. If you hold on now, what comes next can change everything. Life has a curious way of teaching us. The more intense the pain, the deeper the lesson becomes. When everything falls apart, you begin to see the value of simple things: silence, peace, a true hug. Suffering forces you to look inside, to question what really matters. And it is in this internal search that you begin to rebuild yourself bigger, stronger, more conscious. The heart that has already been broken once learns to beat stronger. It gains space not to hold grudges, but to bear more love, more faith, and more inner strength. Suffering does not diminish you. It stretches you, molds you, transforms you. Think of it as the fire that forges the sword is the heat that shapes steel. And you are becoming unbreakable. Most people live trapped in a bubble of predictability. They wake up, work, repeat. It seems safe, it seems calm, but inside, there are people dying of boredom, of emptiness. Constant comfort dulls the soul and numbs purpose. Few realize that the comfort zone is, in fact, a golden cage that is beautiful on the outside, suffocating on the inside. The truth is that no one grows on the soft carpet of comfort. True value lies on the other side of pain, where few have the courage to step. You know that project that you put off out of fear? That dream that demands sacrifice? That is where your greatness is hidden. Choosing the difficult path is challenging the ordinary. And that is what separates those who merely survive from those who truly live. Life was not meant to be flat. We were created to climb mountains, face headwinds, and discover what we are truly made of. And do you know what's most interesting? Happiness is not at the top. It lives on the way, in the footprints left, in the falls overcome. The journey is what makes you stronger, and it is on it that your identity is shaped. Having a big, almost unattainable goal is what keeps you moving. That is what forces you to grow, to think differently, to step outside the ordinary. Those who have a strong why can handle any how, as Nietzsche said. And when you understand that value lies in the effort and not just in the achievement, even the stumble becomes part of the victory. There are days when you will wake up with no desire to do anything, and that's okay. You just can't let that define you. Feelings fluctuate, but discipline keeps you steady when everything seems unstable. It's like going to the gym without motivation, but going anyway. Results don't come from excitement, they come from consistency. You don't need to be inspired. You need to be committed. Do what needs to be done, even without applause, even without enthusiasm. The world doesn't stop to wait for you to get in the mood. And believe me, the more you act without depending on how you feel, the more your mind understands that you're the one in charge. Many people expect the world to change on the outside, but refuse to change on the inside. They want respect, but they don't respect themselves. They want love, but they sabotage themselves. The truth is simple: what you give inside reflects on what you receive on the outside. Internal effort is the seed of external reward. Without it, everything falls apart. You can't live half-heartedly and want a whole destiny. Either you really give of yourself, or you'll go around in circles, frustrated. Want to start? Be honest with your habits. Swap comparison for self-analysis. Meditate, read, write. If possible, take on a 21-day challenge of being your best version and see what changes. The world responds differently when you change your frequency. Training every day, waking up early, studying is not just about gaining muscle or filling your bank account. It's about building a strong enough mindset to not give up when faced with challenges. Your physical appearance will fade, your money will fluctuate. But the discipline you build in the process will stay. It will stay with you when everything else fails. Daily effort is a way of declaring that I am not a victim of circumstances. It's you proving to yourself that you have control over your choices. And, in the end, that's worth more than any status or number. Because true purpose is not measured in the mirror or on a statement, it's felt in the peace you carry. No one likes to fall, but sometimes it's on the ground that you find what you needed. Every failure has something to teach you, and if you pay attention, it becomes fuel. Pain forces you to recalculate. It shows you where you still need to grow. And when you learn from it, you start to get up faster, more prepared. Resilience is born when you refuse to be defined by your falls. Have you ever stopped to think about how many people gave up exactly where you are now? The difference is in who decides to keep going. Use your mistakes as raw material. Reread that book that got you out of the mud once. Write about what hurt you. Make your pain a bridge, not a prison. Life has no mercy for anyone. It hits everyone regardless of color, class, or zip code. But what defines your destiny is not how much you get hit, but how long you can stand up. It's not about appearing strong, but about discovering that the strength you seek is already inside you. There are days when just getting out of bed is already a silent victory. And that's okay. The fight doesn't have to be loud to be worthwhile. The secret is to keep going even when you're tired, even when you're crying, even when you don't know what tomorrow will bring. Because every step you take in pain brings you closer to your most indestructible version. When pain hits you hard, the tendency is to only look at it. But that holds you back. If you only see the present, you forget that the future can still be incredible. Pain is real, but fleeting. What it gives you afterwards, growth, clarity, and strength, remains. It's like going through a storm knowing that there's sunshine on the other side. Focus on the reward, not the wound. Remember that difficult phase that seemed like the end of the world? Today it's become a memory or a lesson. Do the same now. Visualize who you want to be, what you're going to achieve, how you'll feel when you overcome it. Visualize how an athlete visualizes the finish line even when their body is on fire. That's what keeps you steady. Who said there's a right age to have everything resolved? This pressure is a trap that steals your peace. The truth is that everyone has their own pace, their own story, their own time to blossom. Don't compare yourself. What you need now is not rushing, it's direction. Evolving takes time and requires patience with yourself. Big dreams require a version of yourself that is still under construction. And everything you experience today, from frustrations to small victories, is part of this process. Read biographies. You will see that no one got to where they are without getting lost along the way. The secret is to keep shaping yourself until you become someone capable of carrying their own destiny with determination. The more real you are, the stronger you become. The struggle you face today does not weaken you, it humanizes you. It makes you someone with a story, with scars, with truth. It is easy to admire the strength of others, but it is through vulnerability that respect is built. Being authentic is having the courage to continue, even when no one understands the weight you carry. No one knows your journey better than you. So why give so much weight to the judgment of others? Every criticism comes from someone who has not seen your sleepless nights, your silent prayers, your new beginnings. Honor your truth. Talk less, prove more. Be the kind of person who inspires just by the way you keep going, even when hurt. There are times when everything falls apart. At that time, logic and motivation disappear. What sustains you is faith, not as a religion, but as a strength that comes from within. Faith is believing that even without seeing a way out, there is still a purpose. It is what makes you take another step, even when the ground seems to have disappeared. Without faith, the mind gives up. With faith, the heart insists. It can be faith in God, in the process, in yourself, no matter the name. What matters is to feed this spiritual fire. Start with words that uplift you, a verse, a phrase, a prayer. Carry it in your pocket, in your mind or in your soul. Because in the midst of chaos, it is this light that keeps you alive inside. Pain can be your greatest enemy or your greatest impulse. It depends on how you decide to use it. Some people break and never get up again. Others use every fall as a stepping stone. The secret is not to avoid pain, but to learn to draw strength from it. Not every scar is trauma. Some are medals of survival. You can choose to be shaped or destroyed by pain. When it hits, ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? Write, reflect, transform it into art, into training, into decision. Use discomfort as fuel. Because in the end, what hurts you can also be what frees you if you have the courage to transform suffering into power. We live in an era that glorifies minimal effort. Everything has to be quick, easy, automatic. But the truth is that the more comfortable the world becomes, the weaker people become. If you want something extraordinary, you will have to do what no one wants to do: face discomfort, boredom, silence, sweat. Be the one who doesn't stop, doesn't back down, doesn't give in. While most people run away from pain, you run towards it with purpose. Read books that challenge your mind. Do a workout on a lazy day. Say no when it's easier to give in. That's not being radical, it's being rare. And those who are rare inevitably become unforgettable. You can continue living like everyone else, or you can choose to grow where most give up. The decision is in your hands. The suffering you face today did not come to break you, it came to reveal the strength you didn't even know you had. So, the question is, will you run away from the pain, or will you go through it and find your greatness? Think about everything you've survived. Have you stopped to reflect on how much it shaped you? How much you've evolved? Now imagine where you can go if you stay strong, with faith, with purpose, with discipline. If this content touched you, if it reminded you of who you are or who you can become, subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications and follow more content like this, because your journey is just beginning.